Hello everyone, welcome to Lex Universe. This is actually the first video of a series that I planned that will cover traveling in general, will provide you some interesting tips and tricks and, well, basically anything that's somehow related to traveling. And in this video I want to touch a subject that many people will hopefully find interesting and helpful, and that's how to overcome your fear of flying. And basically several steps that helped me to overcome my fear. So let's address the elephant in the room. Planes don't fall. I mean, they can explode mid-air, but that can happen with any vehicle. Your car can explode, your train can explode, your horse can explode. Well, probably not the horse, but just let me know when they invent a horse that can fly across Atlantic. We know from experience that planes do crash, but it's not like what I pictured in the beginning, which was my most horrible fear, that something will happen mid-flight and the plane will suddenly start falling and I will have like 5 minutes of life ahead of me knowing that I will crash to the ground. That's not how it happens. First, even if it did, then there would probably be a loss of pressure and I would be unconscious before we hit the ground. And second, that just doesn't happen. You still have wings and yeah, you just don't fall. You lie to the ground. Okay, you can crash to something, but you will not probably know that you're falling. So, well, that's somehow good. And even that doesn't really happen that often. I mean, according to the statistics, the chance of a plane really falling or crashing is slimmer than 1 to 5 million, so that's something. I mean, you have much bigger probability of winning a jackpot than crashing with a plane. So and also you have to understand that unlike cars or ships, the person who flies the plane or the pilot, they train for a very long time, and even the co-pilot that you think that it could be some trainee, even that is a fully qualified pilot, and these people are real professionals and they know what to do in almost any situation that can happen mid-flight. So that should be reassuring to a certain point. Another thing that you should consider before you fly, if you're really nervous about it, is to actually learn how the plane flies, because once you get the gist of the physics of it, you will understand that it's really not that likely that anything will go wrong. Another thing that really made me nervous when I was flying for the first time, and to be honest, I didn't want to fly for another half a year after that before someone actually explained this to me, is learn what you should expect. I mean, when the plane is rising and then it's starting to level, it really feels like you're falling. And if this is something that you have never experienced before and you've only seen it in a movie or on TV, then it can be really shocking for you, and it can, well, at least for me, it didn't really feel like something I wanted to experience at the moment. But you have to understand that this is quite normal, because when you were going up with the plane, then your space of reference that you are changes. You start thinking, or your brain starts thinking that actually down is not what's really down, but what's down from the floor that you're at. So the moment you are starting your leveling, it feels like you're falling, but it's completely normal and it shouldn't trouble you. Another thing that really scared me was when I first experienced turbulences. I was sitting in the window seat just next to the wing, and I was seeing like the wings were doing like this, and it was like, oh my god, are they gonna break? Well, no, they won't. This is exactly what they're supposed to do. That's why they're designed like this. Now, what I believe to be like the game changer for me was when someone told me, if you are nervous and you think that there is something wrong going with the plane, so it could be the leveling thing, that you think you're falling, or you think that your wings are gonna break off, or that the turbulence is gonna take your plane down, always watch the cabin crew. Always, when you're super nervous, look at your flight attendant, and if they are okay, then everything is okay. Believe me, if you were to fall from the sky, they would know, and they would be as scared as shit as you are. Now, another thing that's a little bit controversial is something that many people actually advised me, and I haven't tried it for quite some time until I did, and that's actually to get drunk. Well, it makes sense. When you're drunk, you experience things differently, and your levels of anxiety are much lower than usual, so it could be helpful for you. For me, to be honest, it didn't make much difference. So while alcohol didn't help me to overcome fear of flying, because it was the point where I basically flew quite often, it helped me to fall asleep. Once we had the delay on the London airport, and I drank like 4 beers, and then I was so drunk that I fell asleep on the plane, and ever since I never had a problem with that. So it could be a coincidence, or it could teach me a valuable lesson. Which brings me to another point, and those are the sleeping pills. Many people have prescribed medicine for falling asleep during the flight, but unless you're flying a very long distance flight, I don't think this makes any sense, because you fall asleep and then you have trouble waking up once you land. And another point there, let's see it from the safety side. It's not really good to be under any medication or there, because there still could be some emergency landing. I'm not saying that you will crash, but you may land in the field, it happens. And if you're drugged, then it's very hard for you to get out of the plane, not to mention that if you're in the aisle seat, then the people at the middle seat or in the window will really hate you for sleeping while they're trying to evacuate the plane. If you need something to help you to fall asleep, I usually prefer some motion sickness pills, which they also calm you down and helps you sleep, but they are not that strong to really drug you and make for you too hard to wake up when it's necessary. Another point, if you're really afraid of flying, is just take it easy, relax. I mean, go to the airport in advance, don't rush into that. Be calm, wear some comfortable clothes. It looks like really stupid advice, but it really helps. Not just for fear of flying, but that should be generally a thing that people should do on the plane. Just take your sweatshirt and your sweatpants and just relax, be okay. It's really important that you put yourself in the mood where any kind of these negative feelings just don't have the chance to really mess up with your brain. Well, and in the end, the final bonus point is just breathe. It really looks stupid, but you know, when you're on the plane and you already got to the plane and now you're about to start and you're counting loud your last minutes and last seconds before you will probably have a heart attack, just breathe. Really, let it help you to slow your heartbeat, to be more relaxed, be more okay. Really, deep breath helps a lot in these situations. I know it from my side. And my final point is just fly. That's actually the one thing that really helped me, is that I went through it and I just kept flying even though it scared the shit out of me. And after some time, when you realize it's actually like no big deal, it's like going on a bus, and you realize there is nothing to be afraid of. Even the turbulences are something that just happens and that just goes away. So if you're really afraid of flying, I believe that the best way to overcome is to just go with it and fly even more, and that in the end will teach you that there is nothing to be afraid of. I mean, I've been flying at least once a month in the last 3 years, and I'm still here, so could you. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it helpful. If you did, please give me a like, check out my other social media, Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And you can guess which will be the next country that I will visit, and I will see you then. Have a great day.